sales training program. Nick Elliott is someone who I've talked about before, but Nick Elliott grew Mike Chang's Six Pack Shortcuts sales team. He grew Lady Boss Weight Loss. And then after those two things, and he actually spoke at one of the gym launch conferences as one of the presenters for sales. And so in 20, I think it was late 2019, early 2020, I invested in a sales training program, which was about it was $20,000. And one of the little nuggets in there was this growth block. And at the time, I actually wasn't doing sales for my company. I actually had two sales guys doing it. And when I started going through this growth block and started going through sales training, I realized that in order for me to be able to truly be convicted and to teach this process, like I needed to go back in and do sales. And so I went back in, did sales along with my sales guy. So I didn't kick them off the team. I basically was doing sales and still paying them. And I went through and did everything that this program told me to do, which one of the things was doing this growth block. And so the growth block was really, really simple. Was I read my script out loud from top to bottom, right? As quick as I possibly could every single day. So you guys see the script in here. So this is the script. If you guys haven't seen it, I literally just read this as fast as I possibly could. And what I would do is I would do this when I would go on a walk. So I'd have my phone in front of me. I'd be like, hey, this is Logan Wilson, 5-Star Cleaning. How are you? Thank you so much for hopping on a call with me. This is all about you, your home, and your service. And at the end of the call, if you decide you'd like to get on a schedule, we'll do that. Does that sound good to you? Cool. Awesome. So give me 30 second background, who you are, like maybe where you're from, what you like to do, things like that. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Let's talk about your home. You said your home was 2,000 square feet. It was 4 bed, 2 bath. Is that right? Cool. How many people live in your home? Oh, you said 2. Great. Amazing. How many pets? Oh, 2 little cute dogs. I love it. Okay. And what percentage of your home is carpet? About 30%. Okay. Got it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being spotless, 10 being so dirty. How dirty would you say your home currently is? Boom. Right. And I would just do that as fast as I possibly could with my script. Okay. So this is the first step of the growth block, is actually just practicing script, reading it out loud as fast as you possibly can. Okay. The next piece that we're doing here is then we have a conversion script. Okay. So after you do an initial sale, the next step is you actually have a conversion script. And so I would read the conversion script out loud as well, right? This one's a little bit shorter, but same thing. I would take this, say, hey, Jessica, it's Logan with Boson 5-Star Cleaning. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm reaching out to see how your cleaning went from yesterday. Oh man, just want to see if we can get you on the schedule on a consistent basis. Tell me what you do about the cleaning. Tell me how we can improve our experience. Oh, thank you for sharing that. And so originally you said your goals were X, Y, Z, right? And then you do the same thing with the conversion script. Okay. And then after we did that, I listened to a sales training video. So if you go to this little link right here, these are sales training videos. Now, this was specifically for weight loss. However, when you hear Nick talk about these videos right here, he does a really good job of explaining the overall strategy, and then he goes tactically into weight loss specifically. So while again, this doesn't specifically attain to specifically cleaning or to cleaning sales itself, if you guys understand this from a fitness sales, I promise you, I would say it overly applies to cleaning in the fact that like you don't have to use all this stuff and it'll still work. Okay. But to understand how he thinks is like one of the most powerful things that I think you could ever have. Somebody just like understanding his decision tree. And so this is inside that little document that is inside the masterclass. Okay. So what I did is I go through here and I would just pick, like for instance, on Monday, I would watch this video and I'd watch it on 2x speed, just like this. And then I would listen to it while I'm on this walk, right? So I take a 22-minute video and turn it into 11 minutes. Cool. So after that, the next thing I would do is I listen to a previous sales call. So if you're not recording all your sales calls, you should be recording your sales calls for 2 reasons. Number 1, so you can go back and listen to them. And number 2, so you can have material and you have data for your team to listen to those as well. Okay. So that's the next step, is to go back and listen to your own sales calls. Again, listen on 2x speed. Okay. And then the last thing is listen to a sales training book. So you click on this list right here. What's up, Lantry? You say hi. Say hi, everybody. You should be out of the bath. You should go to the bath. Nice. Cool. All right. I got a call. I'll probably be on here for a little bit longer, and then I'll thank you.
It's a they're called jewelry blocks.
Oh, this is a jewelry rock?
Yep, it's made out of diamonds.
Oh, wow. Do you think we could sell it for some money?
I think so, but it's very strong.
It's really strong. Yeah. I think diamonds are super strong, huh?
The diamond rock.
The diamond rocks. Is this a gift for me or are you just showing this to me? Oh, it's a gift. Thank you. See you in a little bit. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, you you find some more, okay?
Want them to see the mom, sister, or you again?
Okay, sounds good. All right, bye-bye. Okay. Um, and then the last step of the growth block is the book list. So you guys can what I did is I just would buy these on Audible and I'd listen to these. Again, to me, the idea of sitting down and reading a book like that takes time. Whereas if I listen to it in my earbuds, I can do it while I'm doing something like going on a walk. And so I would listen to like Jordan Belfort's book or listening to like any of these books. And it just all it does, it just continues to prompt you to think about sales and continue to look about how do I add value. And when you're able to look for those type of things, then you'd be surprised at how like it's just like it's right there for you. And you start to see the world through a different lens when you're looking for how do I solve people's problems. First must know what their problems are. And a lot of that is just by asking and listening and paying attention, which is what the last 4 weeks we've been talking a lot about is just like identify the problem, get clear on where they want to go, and then become the bridge to those two things. Okay. So this is the growth block. That's it. This should take 30 minutes. Okay. At most 30 minutes. And when I stopped doing sales, so I probably did sales for probably 6 months. Once I came back in, I did it for 6 months, and then I gave it back over to my sales guys. I kept doing this growth block for the next year. I told you guys that it for a year and a half. Like this is the reason that I give this so much credit to my ability to communicate today, and it transcends fitness sales. It transcends monetary sales. This growth block has made me a better communicator with my wife, with my kids, with you guys. Like all sales is communication. And when I understood that, which I learned by watching a lot of these videos from Nick Elliott, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is just humaning. This is just communicating with other humans. Like it truly changed my life. And so this is the gift that I want to give you guys today that you guys already had access to that you didn't know was right there in front of you. Okay, you guys all have access to this. And how many of you guys have actually gone and done growth blocks? Yeah. And it's okay because you guys didn't even know it was there. You guys didn't understand how important it was, how valuable it was. But now do you guys see how 30 minutes a day, like this right here, will be the best 30 minutes that you can allocate to gain the skill of communication. Okay. Cool. All right. So just to reiterate where that is, I gotta move this out of the way here. So it's in the masterclass. It's under lesson number 3, sales training. And then if you click on this link right here, the sales onboarding process, it's this document. At the very bottom of this document is the growth block. And that's where you can find everything right here that we just talked about. Okay. And Kale talked about this on his call. He talked about how to be like if you want to be like a top 1% communicator, it's like pick up your phone and you can talk to it and like teach and share lessons. Like I 100% agree with that. But I also think that there's one more step before that. I think it's this right here. I think it's just communicating to yourself first, right? It's talking and hearing yourself and also listening. And I think that's what the growth block does. It is a good combination of those two things. And so by doing this, consistently, not just once, not just for a week, not just for a month, but doing it consistently, it's unreasonable for you not to be a better communicator when you put the work in. And I think a lot of times we just don't know exactly where our energy should be spent. Like, I believe that most of us have the good intentions. We were willing to put the work in. Like, you guys wouldn't be on this call if you guys weren't willing to put the work in. Just where do I put the work in? Where's my time best utilized? And so if you guys do have those questions, let me help shortcut you trying to figure out what to do and start with this. Okay. Okay. So a little different than what we've done last couple weeks. Did you guys get value from knowing where that growth block was and knowing what you need to do in order to become a better communicator? Cool. Okay. We're not done yet. You guys, we're not done. There's more. There's more. I wanted to like show you guys where that thing was, but I want to do one more thing with you guys. Okay. But I'm gonna need a volunteer. So I need a volunteer here. Who wants to volunteer? Steph. Amazing. Okay. Steph, are you got your video on?
I never
Renee's
know
on?
what I am volunteering for with you. So
Amazing. Put your video on so we can see you. I'm only going to do this for people who I can see their faces. I'm not going to be blank. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. What's up, girl?
I had the little one.
Amazing. Okay. So the next thing that you can do when you have a friend, so this is why it's important to have friends. Now, these people could be on your team, but they could be inside this community. One of the other sales training that is highly effective is role playing. So some of you guys have probably heard about role playing before. Tyler, don't be smiling. This is not what you're thinking. Okay. This is sales role playing. Tyler. Um, but the reason why role playing is valuable is because it gives you the opportunity to work on a section of the script or a section of the sale that you don't feel comfortable with. You need to do it with somebody who like who knows what your intentions are, right? So, Steph, if we have the script out in front of us, like which part of the script do you feel like you lose the most sales at, or you feel the most uncomfortable part? There's the most uncomfortable piece of the script for you, or where you don't feel like you have the most clarity, or you need the most practice at.
Probably that like point of silence. And, does that sound good for you?
Okay.
Putting the ball back in their court.
Okay. So, guess what we're gonna do?
Role play.
We're just gonna practice it. Yeah. Role playing, practice, right? It's the same. It's what we talked about with the growth block. It's just reps over and over and over and over again. Okay. And so the part that you're talking, let's go to the scripts. If you guys don't have the script, again, it's inside the masterclass. So if you guys we go back over here, right here, phone sales script. This is where this is at. James will drop the link to the script as well. But the part of the script that we're talking about right now is like where we give the price. Is it like right in here, Steph? Cool.
Yes.
So let's do a little role play, and I want you to take me from right here. So basically, you've got all the information you need. Actually, let's just go through this. Let's just go through this, and we'll make it quick to go through here, and then we'll get to this part. Okay? So that way you have all the information. and then let's practice a close.
Cool. Who am I talking to? You?
Yeah. Tom. I'm Tom.
You're Tom?
I'm
Tom.
Tom.
Okay.
Tom.
Awesome.
Tom with an M at the end.
Tom with an M at the end. Cool. Okay, so thanks, Tom. I appreciate you sharing with me. Let's just talk a little bit more about your home. You mentioned it was 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. Did I get that correct? Or
Yep. Yep.
perfect, perfect. And is it just yourself living in the home, or?
No, I got 2 little kids and a beautiful wife.
Awesome, awesome. Do you have any pets that kind of help keep your kids entertained throughout the day?
No, not
No,
ones that. No. No pets for us.
just your beautiful family.
Just the fam. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And what would you say is, if you had to kind of break down how much carpet versus how much hard floor you have, just an estimate is fine.
Yeah. We ripped out all of our carpet. We have 0 carpet in our house.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And if you had to, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being spotless, 10 being super dirty, how dirty would you say that your home is?
Like our kids are tasked to clean the house, every day. But as far as like getting like a deep clean and like all like the grimy stuff, like it's tidied every day. But I would say if 10 is super dirty and 1 being
Mhm.
spotless, I'm gonna say probably 3.
Okay.
3 is safe. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. And what things would you say bother you the most in your home? Either things that you mentioned you can't do the deep cleaning on a daily basis, but is
Yeah.
there anything in particular or specific rooms that, you just don't have time for or just really don't like doing?
Oh my gosh, I have a teenage daughter. Like, can we just can we, what do we do with that? I don't even know what to do with that room. I don't even know. But yeah, I don't know if we can fix that
Science
in one time
experiment?
cleaning. Yeah, exactly. But I think one of the things my wife really notices is fingerprints. We have a stainless steel fridge, and she notices the fingerprints on there, and also the same thing on the microwave. So like I I'm an eater and grabber, so like I'll eat things and I'll start touching things. So that's me, but I don't care if my wife does. So those are definitely the things that bother her.
Okay.
Which if it bothers her, then bothers me.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
those are the big things, like in the kitchen, I would say are the big things.
Okay.
And then I would say that that's probably the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. Are there any other areas, that you find harder to keep up with day to day, like the shower, or you mentioned your teenage daughter's room. Are
Yeah,
there
maybe like the
any areas
sinks
in
too.
there?
Like just like
The
the
sink?
sinks in themselves. Yeah. When you got mouthwash and toothpaste and God knows what, makeup running all
Yeah.
over that place, like it's just all sorts of
Yes.
colors.
On the cabinets also, I presume.
The cabinets not so much because it's like, yeah, it's just our countertop. We have 4
Okay.
people sharing 1 bathroom, and it's nutty.
Oh,
It
wow.
is. Yeah, I know. You should feel sorry for me, but it is what it is.
That's it. It happens. It happens. Um, and what would you say that your main goal is, as far as with our services, what you're looking to accomplish so we can best serve you,
To make my wife happy.
to make your wife happy? Okay.
Yeah, for her to come home and be like
Perfect.
surprised and like, dang, that was very thoughtful, Logan or Tom.
That is
Excuse me.
very thoughtful of you, for
Yeah.
sure. So we've got 2 different options as far as like a first time clean goes. And based on some of the information that you provided me with, I've got my recommendation for you.
Okay.
Um, with that being said, I would probably recommend an initial clean. Oh, am I taking my hat off?
No, you're good. Keep going.
Oh, okay. I would probably recommend an initial clean. It is, more
So,
detailed.
so let me stop you now for a second.
Yeah.
Probably just like I'm gonna recommend an initial clean. Like be more confident with that. So instead of a probably or I think or I might, is like based on what you said, I'm gonna recommend just a little bit more to the point.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try that again.
So Tom, based on what you said, and with the goal in mind of really just giving your wife that relief and removing that responsibility from her, I would recommend our initial clean. So it is, everything gets hand wiped. We're going to tackle, your baseboards, your blinds, high to low, do as best as we can in your teenage daughter's room, and, see if we can get those science experiments under control. We'd vacuum and mop, the floors, get into nooks and crannies. And it's really just a once over of everything you could think of in the bathroom. So paying attention to the sinks and the countertop, so you don't have toothpaste stains and whatnot. Then get those fingerprints on the fridge and on the microwave that you lovingly leave there for her. And if anything needs like a second or third round of scrubbing due to hard water or soap scum or just a little bit of extra attention, it takes care of that for you. Does that sound in line with what you were looking for?
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Perfect. So based on what my sheet says here, we'd be looking at $587.25 for your initial cleaning. Is that something that makes sense to you?
How much did you say it was again?
$587.25.
Oh, that's pretty specific. Okay. Yeah, and so that includes well, the microwave, that includes you trying to figure out my oldest daughter's room. I'm not sure how long that's going to take, and the microwave, and then everything else, right? You said so. Pretty much everything, right?
Exactly what we discussed. Those points of contention that your wife has, a challenge keeping up with from the perspective of, staining, fingerprints, toothpaste, and just giving everything a really good once over.
Ask it again.
Does that sound like it's in line with what you were thinking?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely sounds like pretty much what I need.
Perfect. So with that being said, what would best accommodate your wife's schedule that you can kind of give her the best results, the best surprise? I guess you had mentioned that you're not telling her you're doing this for her, so let's give her a little surprise.
Cool. I think the only thing I would add to that stuff is just like, instead of saying that way, and then this is just my own brain thinks, but you guys in the chat can also get some feedback. I think like the timeline, like what's your timeline for wanting to do this? So you get more of so it's almost like another soccer close rather than like going specifically towards a specific time. It's like, what's your timeline? If I didn't give you like a hard yes, I was like, okay, it sounds about right. But like pick up that I wasn't 100% like, so what's your timeline? I was thinking X time. Okay, cool. Okay, so
So
what you're
maybe
looking, yeah. So ask a timeline question, because again, like that wasn't a hard close, and I think that's something we talked about. That's why I'm doing this, because our last
I'm
sales
working
training,
on it.
it's like being like not being soft, like just being more direct, like taking the next step of you being uncomfortable to make the prospect known where they stand. Because right now I'm still not sure.
Okay. So Tom, you had initially mentioned in our prior communication that you were looking in the next week or two. Is that still aligned with what you were thinking?
Yeah, I mean, today's Friday. Ideally, next week would be amazing, because our oldest daughter's birthday is in the week after. So yeah, so next week would
Awesome.
be ideal.
And she gets the birthday gift of the clean room too.
Exactly. Look at that. Look at that. Two birds with one stone, maybe. I'm getting here.
Exactly. Keeping the ladies happy. Alrighty. So for next week, we've got Tuesday available. We could do midday.
Okay.
Does that suit your schedule?
Yeah, Tuesday would work.
Okay. I'd expect them to arrive sometime between noon and
So
1.
So again, this is where I go back. It's like, okay, so I have Tuesday, and this is where I would like kind of go back over everything again. So on Tuesday, I have you down. I go down for a deep clean. We're gonna hit all these pain points, yada yada yada, and
Okay.
the price on that's going to be 587 to 25. Again, then you ask for the close again. Is that reasonable
Okay.
to you? Is that we on the same page? Again, like, so you ask for it again, and because I haven't given you any no's, but I haven't given you any hard yeses either,
Okay.
right? So okay, so when you get that Tuesday, say, okay, so on Tuesday, here's what I have down. Reset it, go back through it, and save the price again and ask for the close again.
Okay. So on Tuesday, we've got we can get you down to do that initial clean, hit everything off of what we discussed, your baseboards, your microwave, your fridge, your daughter's room, the sinks in the bathroom. It'll be the 587 and 25 cents that we talked about. And we would expect an early afternoon arrival sometime between 12 and 1. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that'll work. How does payment work?
Oh, great question. So once our team member gets finished up with your home, we will send over an invoice to you, and then you'll have the ability to pay it with your card online.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Again, I think just doing that, so you get, because of the way that this sales process is, that you're not actually collecting a credit card over the phone, you might get a soft close, but then that person's more likely to call back and cancel, or to reschedule over and over again until they eventually just like, okay, this isn't going to work. So I think if we do the sale, if the sale is done where we don't collect payment information, then it has to be really defined. It needs to be really clear, like, hey, 587, I'm going to be there on Tuesday, early afternoon. Does that work for you? And get a clear, definitive yes. And if you don't get it, like, then keep going until you get that answer, or until you get that hard confirmation. Like, I'm like feeling, I'm not hearing super excited about this. Like, why aren't you super excited? Something like that. Right.
Okay.
But like, you have to be the one who addresses it. Like, you have to confront it. Don't let it go. Otherwise, you'll get a ton of soft closes where you may have closed them, then they're going to cancel either later that day or next morning, or 3 days before they're supposed to get their house cleaned because you didn't actually close them.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Cool. Other than that, that was really good. Again, just like being confident, being really direct. The more direct you can be, the more valuable you are to that prospect, and the more confidence that you give to them is like being direct. Like, here's what I recommend. Right? Does that work for you? I'm sensing that there's a little bit of hesitation. Like, tell me your thoughts. Right? Like, that person gains more trust when you say that, if you actually sense it and hear it, than if you just continue to like, okay, yes, I know this person is like, they're not giving me a hard yes, or something they're not telling me, and I'm just gonna pretend it's not there. Right? I'm gonna smile.
Yeah.
So again, back to what we talked about in the beginning, like, it's communication. That's all we're doing. It's like, some of it is not always said. It's harder over a phone because we have to listen. And we're listening, like, oh, like that tonality. The tonality was not like I'm excited. The tonality was like, something's off. Like, there's something that I'm not communicating to this person.
Okay.
Right. And instead of being afraid of it, like, lean into it. Like,
yeah, that's where I need to bridge the gap.
Yeah. And it's just by practicing. That's all. It's like, first off, being aware of it, and then secondly, practicing. Right.
Yeah.
And maybe you do it, maybe you sense it 3 times, you do it 2 times. Okay, cool. And then the 4th time, you're like, you don't feel it. It's fine. Like, do it again. Like it's Anna Harris asked a question to the Facebook group yesterday after the Decade in the Day coaching call, where she talked about the concept of emotional intelligence, which is what we talked a lot about on that Decade in the Day coaching call yesterday. And she asked a really great question, which I will make a separate video on, but I'll give you guys the condensed version today. Is that emotional intelligence? Let's define it. It's having a feeling and acting despite that feeling, right? So it's the feeling of fear and acting despite that fear, that feeling still being there, right? Anxiousness, sadness, happiness. Like you could feel happy and you could still just be like, act neutral, right? So that skill set is what this is right here, right? And how to learn it, ready? You're not going to learn it in a book. You're not going to learn it in a
Practice,
course.
practice, practice.
You're going to learn it from these type of things right here. It's being aware that like you have the opportunity to practice. So that's why sales is such an amazing communication builder, is because this is what it is. Like it's practicing emotional intelligence throughout the entire call. You're going to feel so many of these feelings that you're going to want to try to ignore. You're like, no, I gotta confront, I gotta communicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why sales is so powerful. It's because it teaches you, it gives you the opportunity, whether you choose to learn that skill of sales. Like this is where you learn it from, is by practicing. Right.
I appreciate it.
Like,
thank you.
yeah.
And I'm sorry that I was late. I was busy closing a new weekly client.
Bro, Tyler and Renee, they're thanking you because you were on the call earlier. So you have to watch the call. This is actually, yeah. You were in line to win the money. And when I announced the money, you weren't here. See, that was hard for me to say because like I didn't want to confront that right now, but that's what happened.
It happens.
I'm practicing right now.
You're practicing what right now? How to let
Practicing my
people
emotional
down.
intelligence. I didn't want to tell you that, yeah. But on a positive note, now Tyler and Renee have more money to sink into ads to go grow their businesses. And by the way, you did amazing. You spent $600 and made, how much did you make?
38 and change.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
think.
It's amazing. So
you're welcome, you guys, and congratulations. Not going to say I'm not bummed though.
Hey, you are judged by your reaction to things outside of your control rather than to the rather than to the thing itself, right? So like you couldn't control that.
No.
Your reaction, you could judge on that. So always something to know.
Thanks. There's always next time.
Always next time. Okay, guys. Well, that was a little bit of a preview of some role playing. And so the reason why I want to show that is because like that's something that you can do with people on your team, you can do with your spouse, you can do with your business partner, you can also do with other people inside this community. And so one of the big things that I did was with my team is that every single morning we would do, like, I would have my team do the growth block, but then we would come together and we would do role playing. I would do what we did with steps, like what is the part of the script that you're struggling the most with? Maybe it's the close, maybe it's the overcomes, maybe it's the opening, right? Those are the most common ones. But then you just role play those, you practice those back and forth. And the more times you do that, the more confident you get, the more times you just practice saying the words, even if it's in a practice situation when you actually get into a phone call, like you've said the words before. Like, oh, like this actually sounds pretty good coming out. And so if you guys don't have those people on your team right now, like there's people inside this Zoom room right now who would want to hang out and do a little bit of role playing. Maybe it's once a week, maybe it's once a month, maybe it's whatever you decide the frequency to be. But utilize this community, right? And say, hey, like I'm looking for someone to role play with, and you guys can get better at sales in using each other and also getting a friend out of it. Even cooler, right? So hopefully you guys got some value from today. Again, it was a little bit unique of what we've done the last couple of weeks, but next week we will be back with another call review. It'll be the last call review that we're doing. And yeah, give Steph some love, and Kellen and Tyler and Renee and Gabe and Tamara for doing these call reviews the last couple of weeks. Like the feedback has been good, and yeah, just excited for you guys to continue to get better at communicating. And one last thing we're gonna do before we leave here, maybe Tyler, did you send me a Venmo request? And Renee?
I think I did, but tell me if I did it wrong.
Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Hold on. Oh, okay. Let's see this here. See if you guys can see this. Let's see if we know how to use Venmo. Okay. Can you guys see the screen?
You ended up giving away 1,500. Just like twist the knife.
Oh yeah, and we give way more money because we're at 1,500 members now. Last week was 1,000. Now we're at 1,500. So, hey, Renee, we'll be friends. We'll be friends. And yep, this is the right bank account. All right, Renee, you now have the debt, the obligation to go make that 750 into 1,500. And Tyler, you also have the same debt now to go turn 750 into 1,500. And the only ask that I have on behalf of the community is that you guys share your guys' story, continue to share and continue to update everybody on your ad spend and your marketing funnels, and showing everybody that if you can do it, then by golly, they have access to the same information, they have access to the same community. Why can I do it as well? I can, like, so Tyler and Renee, thank you. Steph, honestly, thank you for being leaders, and everybody else who participated in this. And yeah, that's what I personally value more than anything, is just people who participate and show up and do it consistently. And lastly, we're doing we have that Q&A with Ed Tierney coming in on the 26th. And so if you guys didn't get access, you guys didn't register for that. And a part of that, we're giving away a free 40-day detox program. Super exciting. That was created by Alex and Dr. Kashi. And that's everybody who shows up. Again, I will not give that out outside of that call, as a way to incentivize you guys to show up to that Q&A with Ed. And go follow Ed on Instagram as well. He's an amazing human, talks a lot about sales. He's the head of growth for Prestige Labs. So that'll be super exciting. So tell your friends, tell your family, most importantly, get yourselves on there. And we'll be back next Friday, for the final sales training. And I'm going to be announcing some bonuses. There's two more bonuses I'm going to announce on that Ed Tierney interview / Q&A that I will announce next Friday. So again, thank you guys for giving me your time and most importantly, your attention. And hopefully you guys are getting a return on it. But we'll be back next week. Have an amazing weekend, guys. I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye.
Bye, y'all.